Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. So today I have had a request just with regards to team building and Relic synergy and how that all plays into it. So let's jump into a stage here just so we can get the team builder up. Let's go for a blank slate. Just that's what my name means. Tabula rasa. It does mean blank slate. Love it. Absolutely. Come from a Justice League episode and not from the shirt. For those who know, you know. Right, okay, so let's begin. So when you first start out, say for example you're sort of early to mid game, and you have a couple of units. So you might have sort of a Themis, a Loon, and an Atrops, as well as a couple of other sporadic spaced out units. So you might have a I don't know, Naui and a Talinas. Maybe you just got the ticket for the Talinas. You want to have a fun with her and see how it goes. Something like this type of team would be very acceptable. All legendary units. Naui is a must to get through the game and the content in the game, just because she's such a powerful addition. But the way that you want to structure your team, first of all, is you want to put your toughest units at the front here. So for me, my toughest units are Atropos and Talinas, but you might not have enough stars invested. So what I would suggest is you put the units with the most stars at the front. So say your Themis is 3 stars and your Loon is 3 stars, or I don't know, your Atropos is 2 stars and your Themis is 3 stars, whatever the case may be. You would put those units at the front just because they have higher base stats and the front is more likely to be attacked. So I can see here on the enemy team there is a Sylvan, so the Horse Lady, the Centaur, will attack the front units quite a lot, as well as the Dorabella, who will combo off with the Sylvan and other units when doing basic attacks. She will follow up with attacks, or can do. So in this instance, I would have my team built something like this, and then the real reason that we're making this video is the relics. So you might not have a lot of these relics down here, so you can just ignore these. You might have sort of 5 of these lower level relics, something like so the purple relics, and you'll definitely have the blue relics as well. If you don't have 3 purple relics, I would suggest choosing probably the whip, because it hits the most of the enemy team and reduces attack. It reduces the damage done. Increases the damage done as well. So if you do have a couple of these purple relics, so the rare relics, I would suggest looking at the synergies that you do have. And the reason that I say this is because if we say, for example, we go into Valinators, so I've got 3 Valinators here. You can see the synergy on this side. So I've got 3 Valinators, 2 Protectors, 2 Strikers, 2 Verdants, 2 Dawnbringers, but really we're focusing on the Valinators here. So we've got 3 of them in the current lineup. What we want to do, if I go into Themis here, go into Valinators, I can click on relics over here and I can see what relics I need to select for this particular lineup. So if I have 2 of the chosen relics, so say I have the Phantom Saw and I also have the Horn of Halmir, or Fanir's War Song. If I have the Horn, then I would choose those 2, and that would give me, when a Valinator synergy attacks at a target with less than 10% HP, it has a 100% chance to execute the targets. This means it will die. The target will die. It says it's ineffective against boss monsters, but effectively execute means that there will be a slash over the target and they will go straight down once you've hit them. So you could reduce them down to below 10% HP, and then once you've reduced them below 10% HP, they will automatically be executed, irrespective of the effects that are on there. The only thing that cancels that out, I think, is Fortitude. So it's just something to keep in mind. And then the effect is increased when a Valinator synergy attacks a target with less than 20% HP. it has a 100% chance to execute target. So if you have 3 of these, if you do have a legendary Valinator's Relic, you would pop that in, and then you would get this final effect. So it's an increase in 10% HP. So something similar to this. So if I go to my relics here, I'm going to choose the Valinator's Saw. I'm going to choose the Horn here, and then let's say for example I don't have any of the legendary relics to fill that last slot. You can either choose the Lantern, or you can choose not the Chaos Orb, the Healing Vase here. Now, why choose those ones? Well, if we have a look, so it's this second part here. So you need a level 3 Healing Vase for it, but after casting Healing Vase, gain 60 Relic Energy and apply 1 stack of healing reduction on all enemies. So it's the increase in Relic Energy, as well as the Lantern. So when you get it up to level 3, after casting Lantern, the next one cast will cost 60% less Relic Energy. So if I say, for example, I'll use my use my Saw first. Then I go to cast this, and it fits level 3. I will then decrease the cost, or I will increase my Relic Energy for the vase, and for the Horn, I will decrease the cost by 60. So if you do have the Healing Vase and also the Lantern at level 3 respectively, I'm going to show you a nifty trick now. We'll click save, go into battle. Now there's no synergy effect attached to these two, but if you have a look here, the Healing Vase will trigger, and then the Lantern will trigger, and then the War Song will trigger as well. So we get 3 relic activations, all within the first round. So as you can see here, because we've not got the correct synergies for our relics, we're not going to get any of the passives available. So here, I think, to be fair, I think this is a loss anyway, but we do heal thanks to the Dawnbringer synergy. The whatever synergy it is here. But again, it's not a very effective team later on, because you do require a lot of the synergies. But as you can see, we'll hold it out with Atrops here. So let's just have a quick go of, I think this is the lowest chapter that I've got. Yeah, 227 is the lowest chapter I've got, but it's Dawnbringers. So let's go trial again. For me personally, because I've got the exclusive runes for Talinas, I can put her in the front slot and get that damage reduction as well. So we might see a bit of a better trigger on that one. So for this one, I want to go, say I don't have one of these legendary relics to put in that last slot. I'm going to choose the Lantern. And the Lantern should apply a debuff as well to enemies. So let's trade you 2 round. Let's go ahead and see how well we're doing on this one. So the higher up the levels, the more synergies can be activated. So here we'll see the sword go off, and then we need to get to, for me it's 20, because the higher level that your relic is, the less it will cost. So as you can see, you've got 20 here for the Saw Blade, 20 for the Lantern, and that's reduced the cost now of Fanheir's Warsong. Normally that would be at 100, so we would need to get to 100 before we could trigger it. Unfortunately now we died because of the reflect damage here, and then Themis also died because of the reflect damage, but this isn't the right team for this level anyway. But yeah, that's how you would choose your relics. So say for example, if you had a completely separate team of Mystifiers, say you had an Emily, a Minotaur, and I don't know, who else do you get at the start? Emily, Minotaur, maybe an Ellie. So you can see here, we don't have 3 Mystifiers, and we don't have any other, so we don't have 3 ethereals either. So the relic synergy wouldn't kick in. So this relic synergy here, it would be a terrible relic synergy for this particular lineup. Even if we do add the 2, if we add in 2, say Atrops and Themis, we still wouldn't get that synergy to activate. And it's because you need a minimum of 3, I think. 3 of any particular synergy. So if we go in here, relics, no, yeah, so we need 2 of the same relics. And the relic synergy unlocks when 3 or more synergy mates are deployed. So if, say, for example, I went into this now, I couldn't activate any of those relic synergies because I only have 2. I only have 2 Mystifiers, 2 Valinators, and down here 1 Ethereal. But if I were to change out Ellie for, say, you've got a copy of Franz, then what I could do is I could go into my relics, I could have a look at my Mystifier's relics, which would be you, and the book. And if I don't have a legendary relic to fit that spot, I could choose something that might be really useful, like the lantern, for example, or the healing vase, to provide me with some sustainability. But I've got the 2 synergies here, so I can see I've got the Mystifier's pot, or the cursed vessel, and the Book of Thoth as well. So it does depend on what your teams are, the synergies within those teams. So pay attention to what's on the right hand side over here. So I can see I've got 3 Mystifiers, so that relic synergy will activate because I've got the 3. So if we go into here, have a look at Mystifiers. When a Mystifier synergy mate attacks target with a corrode debuff, it has 8% chance to deal 1 instance of corrode damage as well. So it just doubles up your corrode triggers. Now it's only 8% with 2, and with 3 it's 15%. If you don't have one of these legendary relics to fill that last slot, I wouldn't worry too much about it. This will be more than good enough. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, is when you're selecting your relics, you need to focus on what synergy you do have. So I've got 3 Mystifiers, so I want to choose two Mystifier relics. If I were to have say Ethereals, if I were to have the 3 Ethereals here, instead of choosing the Mystifier's relics, I would choose the Chaos Orb, and I would choose Excalibur here if I had the 2 available. So if I've got a copy of Excalibur and I've got a copy of the Chaotic Orb, I'd be able to use those, and I would get that buff for that particular team because that's the synergy that I'm running. So if I go into Ethereals here, I go into Relics. At the start of battle, Ethereal synergy mates will obtain the HP bond buff and increased damage reduction by 5%. So you need 3 Ethereals for that to trigger, and you need 2 Ethereal relics for that to trigger. The way that will work is if I do this here, then the 2 Ethereals at the front will have 5% damage reduction, as will Katrina. They'll have the 5% damage reduction and also HP bond, which means that any damage that, say, Dorabella would take, some of that would be transferred over to Catherine. So let's just show you how that one would work. Potentially we might be able to pass this stage because we do have the Dawnbringer synergy as well. And I'll show you the HP bond buff as well. So you can see we've got Chaos Orb triggering. And as you can see, every time one of my ethereal units at the front takes damage, the rest of them also take damage as well. We do have the healing base and the shields going up as well. So fortunately, that additional shield did save us slightly, and yeah, it just looks like we're not able to pass this stage at the moment, given the circumstances. But again, it's because it's expected. You expect to have much higher level units or other DD heroes at this point in the game, which you will have anyway. But if you are sort of early to mid game, and you've got you're confused about which relics to choose, or where to place them. Again, you need to have a look at the synergies that you've got. So at the moment I've got 3 ethereals. I've got 2 ethereal relics that'll trigger the ethereal synergy relics, or the ethereal relic synergies, sorry. So just something to keep in mind. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you want to like and subscribe, really help the channel out. And if you do have any questions or anything that I've missed, please do point it out. I do appreciate the feedback. If anybody's got anything to say, any improvements, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. You have a good day.